we were gonna take her and they were just gonna be like, she's fine, like, why are you even here? But that's not really what happened.
They said that that her bowels are inflamed and that she might have an obstruction, that they were worried about an obstruction.
Which
so
the surgery was $5,000.
Yeah, so $5,300, which is definitely a lot.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna kind of like walk through what happened with our puppy. We had to take her to the animal hospital and we had to leave her there overnight. I forgot what day it was. Last Saturday, I think. It was actually the same day that we made the last video that I uploaded. So if you haven't seen that one, I'll link it down below. But yeah, so Zane's with me because he's actually the one that took her. I stayed home while he took her. So I guess we'll just get started. So basically, that day that we made our last video or whatever, I was downstairs and she was like crying because I had her in her cage. And when I went to walk upstairs, it like smelled really, really bad, like really bad, like somebody like pooped their pants. And basically I went into the room and she had pooped like all over her cage. And honestly, I wasn't really concerned because she had done that one other time before. So we cleaned it up. I had to put her cage, I had to like wash it and stuff. So I put her in her smaller cage that she used to be in so that I could get everything, you know, cleaned up and stuff. And then I had gone downstairs. I think I was trying to edit or something. I don't remember. And she was like crying. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go check on her. And I came back upstairs and she had pooped all over that cage. So then I just brought her downstairs basically. Like, honestly, at that point, I don't really think we were concerned about anything. Like, she just, you know, dogs get diarrhea, whatever. So then Zane was at his draft party. So both times that had happened, I had called him just to let him know. And then, basically, like, she was acting totally normal and fine. So when Zane got home, because she was still having diarrhea, so when Zane got home, he was like, okay, well, if she's not better tomorrow, then I'm just going to go ahead and take her to the vet. So we were like, okay, whatever. So later that night, she had gone to the bathroom, and then there was blood in her poop. Well, like her diarrhea, I guess. So, stool. So Zane called the animal hospital because our vet was closed, because at this point it was like 10:30, 11, yeah, 11 o'clock at night, just to ask them if we should bring her in or if it's like not normal, but like something to not be worried about.
It's serious or not?
Yeah. And then they had told us, well, what did they tell you?
They just said that pretty much it's up to me and her to decide. Since she was acting normal and eating and everything, that it was our decision to bring her in or not. And so I just kind of made the decision, or we made the decision to just kind of, it was only $115 to get her checked out. So I just decided to drive down there with her.
Yeah, so right after that, well, then she had gone to the bathroom again and there's a little more blood. So then Zane took her to the vet, or to the animal hospital, and to be honest with you, like, I thought that we were gonna take her and they were just gonna be like, she's fine, like, why are you even here? But that's not really what happened. So you can...
So we get there, and it was, I probably got there at like 11:20, 11:30, and then I check her in, and there's a few people waiting, but there's probably only like 3 people waiting. And we were just sitting there checked her in and everything. We were probably sitting there for maybe an hour and a half by then. And then she throws up in the main office, and there's like a bunch of hair and like a white bottle cap. So then they clean that up, and then I'm waiting another probably hour and a half, and then we finally go back there, and then they're checking her and everything seems normal, no fever or anything. And then we decided to do x-rays. So then I did some x-rays, or they did some x-rays on her, and then we were waiting, and then we got called back in, and they said that that her bowels are inflamed and that she might have an obstruction, that they were worried about an obstruction, which is serious, and which means surgery.
Which the surgery was $5,000.
Yeah, so it's $5,300, which is definitely a lot. So then it came down to the decision of, do we take her home and just wait and see if it passes, or do we keep her there and pump her with IVs and fluids to see if it passes? So then I just decided to keep her there and just pay the money. So
which was $1,300.
Yeah. So then she stayed there. They pumped her with fluids. She stayed over there overnight. Kinda. I didn't leave. This all happened. I got there at 11:20, and I didn't get home until about 4:30. And then, so they said that they're going to send the x-rays to a radiologist and get a second opinion. So then by the time I got home, it was probably 4:30. We took the x-rays maybe at 3 o'clock. So then at 4:30, I got home, and they probably called me at 5 and said that the radiologist said that it wasn't a huge obstruction, that they don't think it was an obstruction, that it might just be inflamed bowels and stuff. So then we could finally kind of relax. And they said that we'll still pump her with IV fluid because she was a little dehydrated, and then retake x-rays in the morning and see where everything is. And so then when I left there, I had to pay, it was $1,300 and something. And then I got home, got that phone call, and then I kind of slept until probably about, I'd say 11 in the morning.
He slept until 11 in the morning.
And then I called them. And,
oh wait,
go ahead.
I had called them at like 8 o'clock in the morning because I wasn't sleeping all night because I was so like stressed out about it. So I called them, and basically the lady on the phone told me, like, I'll have them give you a call back. We're having an emergency right now, which obviously I understand they can't tell us, you know, about other animals or anything. But then I was nervous that like it was an emergency having to do with our dog, which I understand they probably would have said something, but it was still kind of scary to have them say that and not really, I don't know. So yeah, basically I called at 8 and they couldn't give me any information.
Yeah, so then that's when I called at around 11. Yeah, I called around 11, and then they said that they're in the middle of taking x-rays of her, and they'll call back whenever they're done. So then they called me back at probably like 11:30, and then they said, you know, everything looks fine and all that. So that was a huge relief. Big weight was lifted off of both of our shoulders and stuff. So then we picked her up at 12, and still crazy, still jumping, barking, still being her. She was never not herself. She was always herself, always jumping, always crazy. But yeah, she seemed to be normal. They were very nice there. Didn't have any problems with anyone or anybody taking care of her. Anything. Very nice. It was a scary situation, but it turned out better than the worst. So
yeah, because we've had a couple other bad experiences, you know, when dogs get sick. So I think that's why we were really nervous about it, because if you think about what was actually happening to her, it really wasn't that like serious. I mean, obviously it's not normal.
Well, blood and stool is like scary, but it's for dogs, and even humans, it's not like a, oh my god, I need to go to the emergency room. But with her, it was just, we both kind of had a feeling like this is not our puppy. This never happens before. So then that's why we just decided $115 to go get her checked out and just make sure it was fine is worth it. But then the x-rays were expensive, and then having her stay overnight and then pump her with all the fluids, that was the most expensive. That was probably like $800. But it comes to a point where you got to figure out if it's worth it or not. And we definitely, it's our puppy, it's our little baby, so we definitely thought it was worth it. And we do have insurance, so that definitely helps a lot, because she does literally eat everything. So we do have insurance to help with that. So that helped a lot. So we will get some money back.
Yeah,
but
so if you guys are looking for a good dog insurance, Healthy Paws is what we use. And I mean, I know it's kind of different for everyone, but like for us, our deductible is $250, and then whatever the bill is, we only have to pay 20%, which is a lot better than, you know, all of it. Especially if she would have needed that $5,000 surgery, we only would have had to pay like $1,000 or something like that. I don't know. But
yeah, so we took her home, and everything's normal. We just have to feed her chicken and boiled chicken and rice. So she's eating better than a lot of people. She's eating better than me. And then we follow just not a strict diet, but we just follow a diet with her. And then after that, everything was fine. But then all of a sudden, she just stopped pooping. Well, she got home and went to the bathroom once, and then didn't go to the bathroom for 4 days. And we were freaking out. And then at the 4th day, we kind of calmed down because we met with a doctor because she was sick the other day. And then she said her dog was having the same thing, bloody stool, and that he didn't go to the bathroom for a week. So we kind of calmed down a little bit. And of course, once we kind of calmed down and calmed our nerves and just waited for her, we went and got some pumpkin too, just to push it through.
Because we had asked our vet, and they said we could get, because we called them on the 4th day.
Yeah, and then of course we were home waiting, and I was going to give her some that night, some pumpkin to, you know, push it through, and she finally goes to the bathroom a little bit. So we've been relieved a little bit. Now we're just kind of watching her just to make sure she's all good and dandy.
Yeah, because she's been really tired and stuff, because she normally eats 6 cups of food a day, and she's eating only 3 cups. But that's the instructions they gave us. Yeah. And then I ended up getting sick, which I'm pretty sure is from stress. Even the doctor said, I don't know how she pronounced it, but whatever I have, like I basically, my like tonsils have like blisters on them or whatever. And she said that happens from stress, which makes sense because like, what, 2 days after we brought her home, I started to feel really sick and stuff. So
this was probably the most stress that we've felt in years.
Yeah.
Even though that she would, you know, she wasn't dying or anything, it was still very scary.
Well, like leaving your dog overnight and having no idea what's going on.
She already kind of has like separation anxiety. Not really, but she's so used to being with me or her 24/7. She sleeps with us. We feed her every single day. It's no matter what, it's always us, no matter what, every day, 24/7. So when you kind of have to leave her alone with someone else's care, even though they're vets, and again, we never had problems with them or anything, it's just still a scary situation.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, obviously they don't have time to call you. And if they're doing good, there's really no reason to call you. But it's also just scary when nobody's contacting you to let you know she's doing okay. But I guess they had told him that no call is, what did they say?
No news is good news.
No news is good news, yeah.
Yep, so she seems to be fine now. We're just kind of watching her to make sure.
Yeah.
Still crazy, still a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I think we're going to be nervous because even when we put her on regular food, I think it's still going to be a little nerve-wracking because we just don't want what happened to happen again. And honestly, I think had we not taken her, she would have been fine. But we do feel good that she got IVs and everything. But I mean, she did throw up that stuff. We don't know where she got it from because we watch her 24/7. But she's a puppy, I guess. That's basically it. So we're just watching her, making sure she's okay, because I don't feel like we're out of the woods yet. And I don't know if that's just like my personality, like I just worry all the time. But oh well. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss the next time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.